Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of I Am the Commissioner and You're Not radio simulcast show. Now, if you see here, we have the topic of baseball today as we reflect back on the 2010 season. I'd like to first introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm known as the president, and I'm happy to be on this program once again.
Did you have a career in television? You look a little familiar.
No, unfortunately, I have not.
Do you see the resemblance of yourself and the character Neuman from Seinfeld?
I've been told that, but I never watched the program, so I couldn't answer that question properly.
All right, so you were never filming any TV sitcom?
No, unfortunately, I do not have a TV career. However, if somebody would want to hire me for a program, I'm open to negotiation.
Okay. Now, these little figures here, we had a contest, the commissioner versus the president in baseball trivia. And this is the little figures which move around the bases. Not terribly exciting, but can you go over what happened, Mr. President?
Well, in these last two games,
Yes.
the president and the commissioner squared off in a good old-fashioned game of trivia baseball. And fortunately for the president in these two games, he prevailed.
Why did you prevail?
Well, obviously, I answered more.
Speak up.
Obviously, I was able to answer a few more questions than the commissioner correctly.
Okay, very good. And the third game is coming up, so we'll see how that turns out.
Absolutely.
Now, we have an email that came in, okay? Maybe you can take a look at it, and it has to do with the NFL, a football question on a baseball show. But how would you answer it? Read the question for the people and give us your insights.
Well, the question is about last Sunday's Jet game, and the question asks, the Jets the last couple of weeks have just managed to squeak by in their two games, and do you think this is a potential problem coming into the future for the rest of the season?
That's a rather long email, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Fortunately, I condensed it as best I could.
I see. There's some four-letter words in there, I can see.
Yes, they are. They're directed to me, but we won't acknowledge those words at this point.
And how would you answer that question?
Well, I'd have to say for myself that, the Jets were lucky to win their last two games, and I think they possibly may have underestimated their opponents, but the bottom line is they won the game, the last two games, and that is a positive.
It's a bit early, but can you give us your prediction as to the two teams in the Super Bowl?
Well, I tell you the truth. I think the Jets have a good chance to get into the Super Bowl certainly in the AFC. And the NFC, well, I have to consider who might be the top team there. It's kind of a bunching of teams. Right now, based on last night's performance, boy, the Philadelphia Eagles look like a strong contender.
Boy, you tend to be a front runner. Just because the Eagles beat on some hapless Washington Redskin team, you think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be in the Super Bowl? Is that what you just said on the air?
That is correct.
All right, now, if that comes true, then you could see why the viewers out there should be subscribing to the radio station and supporting our sponsors, if in fact we had any. Thank you very much. Now, getting back to baseball trivia, I'd be interested in asking you for your opinion of the three greatest Mets that have played for that franchise.
Okay. Well, let's start off. Number one is obviously Tom Seaver.
Obviously.
The franchise. 3 Cy Young Awards, I think, and, definitely head and shoulders above the rest. The second player, I would have to go with Mike Piazza. Though he wasn't with the team quite as long, he certainly had a big impact, and his stats speak for themselves.
That'd be like a personal favorite.
My personal favorite, and I think he, certainly his, talent-wise, he was as good a hitter as any Mets player. And the third player, I would have to, I'd probably have to go with Keith Hernandez for his impact and his leadership on that 1986 World Series team.
Excellent choices, and a very fine commentator.
Thank you very much.
All right. Now, I have an email coming in. Let me see what my email is. Boy, that little. You don't ever email me with this stuff again, because I know where your email lives.
The nerve of these people.
Unbelievable.
Boy,
All right. Now, a legitimate question. 2 parts. Do I recall a Wisconsin football player whose name was 1/5? Yes. Now the second part is the question for me, I guess, is why did 1/5 find it difficult to play in the NFL? Do you happen to know why 1/5, a great back for the Wisconsin Badgers, didn't play in the NFL?
I do not know the answer to that question.
The answer, because I happen to know this, 1/5 was 2/10 to play in the NFL.
I get it now. I understand.
You understand what?
It was 2/10.
He was 2/10.
Right.
Okay. These are the type of questions that we really would like to hear from the audience. Now, would you like to hear my 3 greatest Mets of all time?
Absolutely. I want to hear them and see how
I
they're
haven't
different.
thought about this in advance, and it was a surprise question for you.
That's what
But
makes it.
Tom Seaver definitely, and I would have to go with a person like Jerry Koosman,
Okay.
a long mainstay of the staff who was instrumental in the Baltimore Orioles' defeat in the 1969 World
Absolutely.
Series.
I think you won 2 games.
And the third greatest Met of all time is very difficult for me to choose. We certainly can eliminate Felix Millan,
Ah,
a nice gentleman, probably
Felix
good.
the Cat.
Felix the Cat. We'd have to eliminate Dave King Kong
I
Kingman,
agree.
who, by the way, leads the Mets in all-time homers as of 1991.
That's hard to believe, but true.
But you know it to be a fact.
Apparently so.
And the third one, I would have to say, we'll go with Keith Hernandez also, who is one of the best color analysts on the television today. Now, our camera person, the lieutenant, has a question, I believe, for one of us. What is it, Lieutenant? What is your question?
I'm in a lot of pain right now.
She wants to know why she has to be subjected to filming this. So we appreciate our efforts. Now we're going to go to a commercial break, if in fact we have any commercial sponsors. So thank you for tuning in. I want to shout out, by the way, to Tobyhanna, Pennsylvania, where the Weeb is one of the few followers of this show. Do you have something to say to the Weeb in Pennsylvania?
Well, just keep tuning in, Weeb, and we'll keep producing these shows. So long as somebody will watch, we'll keep coming across there.
And that somebody might be you. So have a good day. And once again, a thank you to the lieutenant for putting up with this and filming it in her expert manner. Now, if you press that red button in the middle,